Okay, Christopher, I wanted to say sorry for not being able to get to you in class today, and so I thought I'd send you a little video. You got my notes here, but the first thing I wanted to talk to you about was just creating more of a consistent look with the typography. So this is looking pretty nice, but what I'm going to say is you can make this a style over here. Call it body copy. Okay, so let's select all of that and change it to the body copy. And then you can make universal changes. So I know we'll want to come back and correct that scale. Let me select all this again, body copy. So now watch when I come in here and edit this, I can edit the spacing between letter form. And let's bump the size down a little bit. Okay, now that's starting to look pretty good. So you'll have to do that on your own to this first one, but I would say get in here and clean this up a little bit where it looks nice like that, and also place it in a consistent location. So there you go. You've got two that I worked on, and you can work on that first one. And then you could just come back in here and change it. You'll unlink it, select that word, change it to bold, italic, whatever you had. And then also you can add this to a style. Bold, italic. Okay. So then if I wanted to, come over here to Unity, break that chain, open up, bold, italic. There you go. And now you can make universal changes to that as well. Like if we wanted to change the size or something like that. Okay. Other thing I was going to say is I don't think you need this stroke around the arrow. So I'm going to go to the first component, the original component, and turn off that arrow, and that should change all of them. Okay. So I'll also say I don't think you need this stroke either. There you go. Now we're starting to get a lot more room there to play with. So I'd also suggest making the navigation smaller, like that. Okay, so you can apply those changes to these as well. Okay, other thing, so let's see, I talked about more spacing for the type. Let's talk about professional illustrations and icons. Like these are, these textures, it's really hard to understand what I'm looking at. And these are like very crudely, quickly drawn. So I'm gonna suggest getting onto Dribbble. I clicked web design, I typed in icons just to see how other professionals make this stuff. So I would suggest getting on someplace like Dribbble or Behance and just start seeing the way other people do illustrations and icons, and then bring that into your work here. Right now this has got, and maybe this is where you thought you would be at, but right now it really looks pretty amateurish, and I think you can get it to be a lot better. Let's see. So we talked about professional illustrations and icons, less congestion around the navigation. You don't need the strokes, so you can update your other stuff to look like what I did over here, including scaling down this. And actually, I think if you come in here, if you do the original, it'll scale all of them. Okay, so, and you can also come in here to the file, show version history, and you can see the changes that I've been making, or go back to your original, like this. Okay, just in case you need to undo something. Okay, so then with variety, I'm going to say just use some kind of different form of texture. This is just super confusing as to what even I am looking at. Also, I thought the road stood out because it doesn't match the rest. I wonder with whatever texture you go with, like, can the road also have that texture? And maybe that's what's getting the variety. And then that would be a way of simplifying things too. Um, yeah, like what if you got rid of the buildings and just focused on the road? And then what if it was like the dashed lines that changed? That could be a really kind of simple look for you. And then that would also eliminate these extra elements because the orange house is loading really slowly. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So watch, I just clicked and there it goes. So I'll go click, click, click. Okay, now that was really slow. Okay, click, click. See how slow that's loading? I'm thinking that however you built this, it's not working very well. Let me see. Yeah, okay, that is a ton. I would say you can simplify these shapes some and group them. You can draw them in Illustrator, but yeah, that is a bunch of vectors to load. If you want to combine shapes and stuff, you can look up here at the, yeah, like it'll have a unite thing, but I don't think it makes it permanent. So anyways, this is really hard to load. Work on that. Let me go back to my notes. So then with Unity, everything I set up here still applies. With Scale, everything I set up here under all still applies. But also make new art and don't reuse it. So the art that you reuse in this, like the house, for example, don't do that. Like make it something new and unique. Like don't reuse it here. Okay, and don't reuse the street. Make something else. So, all right, that is my notes to you. So this way you won't have to, you can already start working ahead. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.